What's up, everybody? I want to give a shout out to my dude Isaac Sabentes. I'm sorry this review took so long. I was just trying to get myself used to this album and stuff like that. Album I'm about to review today, thanks to him, is Freddie Gibbs and MAdlib's collab album Pinata, released in 2014 on MAdlib Invasion. Um, You guys should know who Freddie Gibbs is. You guys should know who Madlib is. But I gotta be real with you. The reason why this album took me so long to review, I'm not really the biggest Freddie Gibbs fan like that. Although I admit the dude is a phenomenal lyricist, dope storyteller. But I'm not. I haven't really. The reason it's not because I dislike him. It's just because I'm not. It's not something I would like listen to a lot. He's not an artist I would listen to a lot. So, but at the same time, I checked this album out because two reasons. Because along with Run the Jewels 2, which is the album I need to review that album. That's a dope album. Like Pinata was like ranked among the best hip hop albums of 2014. And the second reason is because Madlib's production. I mean, if you guys know me, I would talk about Madlib, but not that much. But if I do, I always praise his production. I mean, I need to get my hands on that the Mad Villain album he did with MF Doom. I need to get my hands on that. But that album's kind of very hard to come by. But let me talk to you about who Freddie Gibbs is. He's an MC from Gary, Indiana. Um, he signed to Interscope Records around 2006, and he recorded his debut album. But like Interscope, they kind of folded it, and because I think pol- record label politics and shit. So between 2006 and 2009, he was recording and recording. And 2009, he dropped The Miseducation of Freddie Gibbs. It was like a compilation of all the work he had done up to that point. Fast forward to around 2010, he signed to Young Jeezy's CTE label, and he dropped his ninth mixtape, Cold Day in Hell. That actually got him a lot of attention. Then the next year, he dropped Babyface Killer. He left CTE, but and he said it was no hard feelings between him and Jeezy. So stay tuned for that. And in 2013, like he was getting like a lot of exposure in the underground. He dropped ESGN, which is an album that has been like critically acclaimed. A lot of people have loved that album. I have not yet heard the album. I'm not really the biggest Freddie Gibbs fan. I need to get listen to more of his stuff. And also, it was around this time when he and Madlib got cool. In 2014, they dropped this album. Okay, now one thing I like about this album, it has, how can I put this? It has a mafioso, but it's mixed with like a black exploitation feel to it. Like the production by Madlib is just, excuse me, unbelievably just so dope. It ranges from hardcore to boom bap to a little jazz to fucking to soulful. I mean, Madlib is definitely. Uh, I like the fact that he's getting more and more attention these days because I always felt Madlib was kind of underrated a little bit. But that's another story for a different day. Oh shit, I forgot to mention. He dropped some EPs. Let me. I forgot to mention. Freddie Gibbs dropped some EPs before this album. I forgot. What is my? I'm sorry. It's been a crazy week for me. Okay, so he dropped some EPs, and like most EPs, like he dropped Shame Deeper. His first collab with Madlib, he signed with Madlib Invasion, or I think around like 2010, 2011, after he left CTE, and then he dropped like Thuggin, Shame Deeper in 2001, 11, 12, and 13 respectively. like again, I'm sorry if I fucked up his biography. I'm not really know that much about Freddie Gibbs and stuff, but let me get to the album and stuff like that. Now, singles I'm known for are Thuggin', Shame, and Deeper, which is of course the name of the EP. What else? Okay. So guest appearances include Danny Brown, Raekwon, Dobo, Domo Genesis, Earl Sweatshirt, Scarface, Absol, Palesta the Saint, BJ the Chicago Kid, Big Time Watts, and G Wiz, Casey Veggie, Soul Man, Michi Darko, and Mac Miller. Alright, this album consists of 17 tracks, and let me get started with this review. First song, Supplier, just the intro, kind of sets the whole tone of the album. Then we have Scarface, the second song, dope ass song right there. I mean, that Madlib probably he set the whole tone with that, like that beat. And I heard Freddie Gibbs say that several interviews. That's the hardest Madlib beat for him to rap over, and he did that beat justice because his flow was phenomenal and perfect on that song. Basically, what I got from Scarface is like he's talking about this lifestyle he had when when he was struggling, like his drug dealing ways and stuff like that. So very, very, very dope song. Track number three, Deeper. Um, dope sample Madlib used. He used a Legend to Legend sample. Um, it tells a story about this drug dealer who he he's he's talking about how he shows no love and stuff like that, and because he had this woman and stuff like that, and I think once the woman left him, like he took the softness from him and stuff like that. So very dope song right there. Track number four, High featuring Danny Brown. I'm not really the biggest Danny Brown fan. I know a lot of people rave over him, but I'm not really like the biggest fan. I don't know if just his voice, that weird ass hairstyle. I don't know, but he did hold his own on this song and higher self-explanatory. I'm not going. Yeah, self-explanatory. Very interesting song right there. I like the second verse when he's talking about having a threesome and shit. Why does this shit always does this? Where he talks about having a threesome and things of that nature. Then we have track number five, Harold's. Um, Harold's. Is this? He's about to eat something. He goes to a restaurant called Harold's. Very dope song. I like that song. Um, track number six, Bomb, featuring Raekwon. Um, Another song where he talks about crime, drugs, and robbery. I love this song because it definitely has a mafioso feel to it. It kind of reminds me of some shit that Raekwon would have off Only Built for My Cuban Links 2. Dope album. I need to get my hands on the album too. And Raekwon, he did his thing on that song and shit like that. Next song, Shitsville. Pretty alright song. Then we have Thuggin, which is actually the next song. Thuggin, it just talks about the balance between his gangster side and the street life. And then we have Real, which is Remember Everybody Ain't Loyal. Now, this was actually a diss track to Young Jeezy and shit like that. And it kind of caught a lot of people off guard because the beef kind of started. 'Cause I think Jeezy he said some shit like, what did he say? He said that Freddie Gibbs was a natural at destroying relationships, and so they went after it, and so they dropped, and then Freddie Gibbs dropped this track. He says some lyrics that I like. Hold on, let me pull them up. Niggas stand on my own two balls, my dick and 10 toes, straight to the tippy top. Hit this nigga spitting it whether I got it hit or not. I hit it with the whip they knows when they hit the rock. I mean, and then also he said this other line where he says, and then like the second verse, it it went from a harder tune to like a more melodic kind of beat, and I think that Madlib he really did his thing with that. And the second was one line he said, "Babyface gangster, I've been slinging banging since '94. I thought the world was on my feet when I linked up with Snow, but I refused to be his flunky, so we don't kick it no more. Straight to the facts, nigga. I looked up to you, put that on my mama, signed a deal with you. You never asked you, and never asked you for a dollar." I mean, that's some personal shit right there. Um, and I'm not really and Young Jeezy. I kind of felt like after the session he dropped, I kind of felt like he kind of went a little bit, and like his first three albums was just pretty very good in my opinion. Next song, what's the next song? Damn it. Uno's the next song. It's basically a braggadocio song. Um, Robes featuring Domo Genesis and Earl Sweatshirt. Domo Genesis, that's another MC who I haven't really checked out that much, but I heard his verse on it, and he had like the best verse on this whole song, and that's crazy because Earl Sweatshirt, he's like another phenomenal rapper I like, but yeah, Domo just kills it with this. There's another bro was just another braggadocio track, Broken, featuring Scarface. Anything Scarface touches is gold. And Broken, self-explanatory, talks about being broke, things of that nature. I felt like Scarface was like the perfect rapper for this kind of song because he is a natural at really getting personal with his lyrics. Don't believe me? He did this one song with Jay Z from the Dynasty album. What's the shit called? Damn, what's this? I believe it's This Can't Be Life. Yeah, I think it's This Can't Be Life. And the Dynasty album, I need to do a review on that because that's an album I have mixed feelings about, but that was a standout track for me. Um, but I'm getting off topic. Track number 13, Lakers, featuring Absol and Palette the Saint. Um, Lakers pretty much an ode to LA and stuff like that. Very good song. Absol did his thing. Shout out to Absol, by the way. Then we have Knicks. Self-explanatory. Another dope song right there. Um, Shame, featuring BJ the Chicago Kid. Shame. It talks about how Freddie Gibbs he kind of like cheated on this girl and she's mad at him, but at the same time, once he was like feeling guilty, he kind of felt like the relationship was not really serious and anything like that. So he kind of feels himself like there's no reason for him to be ashamed or angry. Very nice conceptual track right there. Um, then we have Watts, featuring Big Time Watts. Big Time Watts is actually Freddie's uncle, and he's a yeah, Freddie's uncle and shit like that. Pretty alright song. And last song is Pinata featuring Domo Genesis, G Wiz, Casey Veggie, Soul Man, Michi Darko, and Mac Miller. Like an old all out posse cut. It's kind of like I like how it's like vintage and stuff. Like, kind of reminds me of like them days like the Cold Crush Brothers and shit like that. In a way, it kind of reminds me of that. And that's all the songs of this album. Overall, this is a very good album. A very, very, very good album. And this album definitely deserves all the accolades it has. One thing I love about this album, it has a I love the mafioso feel it has to it. And knowing me, you guys know I love when it comes to mafia rap. And I kind of felt like it did good with that because there are a lot of MCs these days that do the whole mafioso hip hop rap thing, and it's not really the same. It's not really the same. And like my favorite MCs that done that, like Cool G Rap, Raekwon, AZ, Jay Z with the Reasonable Doubt. Who else? Who else? Yeah, think the list goes on and on and on. And so Freddie Gibbs, he definitely done that while still keeping it street at the same time. Now, production wise, I love the production on this record. The production really, it really, Madlib's productions is so consistent, and a lot of people have tried to emulate it, and it's not working out for them. And I felt like Freddie Gibbs. I can't really picture no one rapping over these beats other than Freddie Gibbs. That's how dope it is. All right, and what else? What else? And Freddie Gibbs, I need to check out more of his stuff. To be honest, if you guys have any recommendations, put it on the comments below because I don't know why it really took me so long to like really witness the genius of him. Other than that, Pinata, Freddie Gibbs, and Madlib. Um, I admit this review is kind of. And I'm sorry it took me a long time to actually review this album, but yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. Shout out to my dude Isaac.